today. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so I'm sorry if my voice still sounds wonky. But we're going to do part 2 of the Mid-Atlantic section. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. Any list of the world's most important art museums includes New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art, better known as the Met. The museum boasts one of the world's greatest collections of just about everything. The museum's 2 million square foot building is a treasure of painting, sculpture, and decorative art collections, including exhibits of American art divided into 24 breathtaking period rooms. The Met also features unsurpassed collections of Dutch masters, Impressionists, and Post-Impressionists, from Monet to Miro, Modigliani, and Matisse. Its massive antique collections include ancient Near Eastern art, Greek and Roman art, Asian art, and the art of Africa, Oceania, and the Americas. These and other permanent collections, plus this special temporary exhibits, pull in more than 5 million people each year. The Temple of Dendur was relocated from the Middle East, where it was threatened by the construction of the Aswa High Dam, and rebuilt stone by stone at the Met. And there's the picture of the piece that they took. Empire State Building. On a clear day, you can see 80 miles from the observation deck of the Empire State Building all the way to Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania. Of course, you can also see much of New York, the Empire State. Each year, almost 4 million tourists walk through the building's chrome and marble lobby and stand in line, sometimes for many hours, to ride an express elevator to the top, and it's worth the wait. Climb the Himalayas and you will see more territory. But when it comes to urban views of the world, the Empire State Building is preeminent. This is not only because of the building's height, but also because of its proximity to the dazzling New York City skyline. The building overlooks such landmarks as Rockefeller Center, the United Nations, Central Park, the Statue of Liberty, and seemingly close enough to touch yet another Art Deco icon, the Chrysler Building. Some fast facts about the Empire State Building. It takes up about 1/3 of the block between 34th Street and 33rd Street and 5th Avenue in Herald Square. The building measures 1,453 feet, 8.562 inches from its base to the top of its lightning rod. It is the tallest building in New York and once was one of the 10 tallest in the world. And there's the Empire State Building. Rockefeller Center. Midtown Manhattan's Rockefeller Center is a complex of 19 commercial buildings a few blocks south of Central Park. The center is a shopping mall, an Art Deco icon, a winter wonderland, and the only place on earth where you can nurse a cocktail and watch ice skaters leap and twirl beneath a big golden statue of Prometheus. The center of the complex is 30 Rockefeller Plaza, a 70-story building that towers above the skating rink and the adjacent Central Plaza. Stop by Radio City Music Hall, the largest indoor theater in the world, where the Rockettes have been knocking out audiences since 1932. Those seeking a fine dining experience may want to try a meal at the famous and glamorous Rainbow Room. Though the iconic restaurant closed in 2009, it reopened in 2014 after renovations. There's the pond lake thing that's in the middle. I don't know. Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge opened on May 24th, 1883, linking what would become the boroughs of Brooklyn and Manhattan in New York City. It was an accomplishment of mythic proportions, requiring new technologies and new engineering. In its day, the Brooklyn Bridge was the longest suspension bridge in the world, with the length of the main span measuring 1,595 feet. Its towers were once the tallest structures in the city. The design was imaginative. Artists said the Gothic-influenced Brooklyn Bridge demonstrated that aesthetics and technology could coexist. It also inspired the poet Hart Crane that he chose his apartments for their view of the bridge. His masterpiece is the book-length poem, The Bridge. An inspirational span. Oh, sleepless as the river under thee, vaulting the sea, the prairie's dreaming sod, onto us loveliest sometimes sweep descend, and of the curviest lend a myth to God. And that's from the bridge poem that Crane wrote. The Brooklyn Bridge, designed by architect John Augustus Roebling, towers over New York City's East River. And there's the bridge. St. Patrick's Cathedral. St. Patrick's Cathedral lies in New York City across from the Rockefeller Center. Technically, the cathedral was completed in 1879 after 20 years of construction. But the cathedral is the seat of the Archbishop of New York, so an archbishop's house and the rectory were added between 1882 and 1884. The cathedral's dramatic spires were completed in the 1880s as well. Later, the great rose window and immense bronze doors on the Fifth Avenue side were added. More than 5.5 million visitors come to admire the cathedral each year. They especially come to see the St. Michael and St. Louis altar designed by Tiffany & Company and the St. Elizabeth altar designed by Paolo Medici of Rome. I butchered his name, I'm sorry. St. Patrick's welcomes visitors from 6:30 a.m. to 8:45 p.m. daily, as long as they respect the serenity others seek there. St. Patrick's is the largest Gothic revival-style cathedral in the United States. And there's a picture of the cathedral, which I think is very, very pretty.